Exodus 20:13. Thou shalt not kill. That is, thou shalt do no murder. Leviticus 17:14. For it is the life of all flesh. The blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh. For the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. Genesis chapter 9 verses 5 and 6. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man. At the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. Exodus chapter 21, verses 22 to 25. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall surely be punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. This is talking about a woman being struck so that she gives birth prematurely. The potential mischief following that is talked about here is dealing with mischief coming upon the prematurely born child. Any harm done to the woman herself is otherwise dealt with in the law of Moses. It is obviously the death or the injury of the child that is the issue being tackled here. At this point in Exodus chapter 21, God is dealing with more unusual circumstances. Read the chapter and consider the context. God makes it clear here, in case anyone has any doubt, that an unborn child is to be treated as a full human being. The one who causes the premature birth could be punished to a lesser degree for simply causing the premature birth. Amos chapter 2 verse 13 says, Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have ripped up the woman with child of Gilead, that they might enlarge their border. And they're not the only ones. It is no wonder also that Judaism today leans so much in favor of abortion rights. This camp thereby proves that they are out of line with the Hebrew scriptures, which testify of their own king, whom they reject, just as Jesus said in John chapter 5, verses 37 to 47. God even rebuked Israel in the Old Testament, saying the following in Jeremiah chapter 2, verses 34 and 35. Also in thy skirts is found the blood of the souls of the poor innocents. I have not found it by secret search, but upon all these. Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger shall turn from me. Behold, I will plead with thee, because thou sayest, I have not sinned. Here is a sample of the multitude of other scriptures which are fitting to quote here. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 to 19. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Psalm 139, verses 13 to 16. For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought or formed in the lowest parts of the earth. And this is obviously a reference to the womb. Continuing, thine eyes did see my substance, yet being imperfect. And in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. Psalm 28, verses 3 to 5. Draw me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds, and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert, because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands. He shall destroy them, and not build them up. Regardless of popular opinion, abortion is an atrocity of epic proportions. It is shocking that it has become legal and socially acceptable. America has killed more than double the people through abortion than Hitler and Stalin's regimes killed combined. It is pathetically interesting how many lament about the multitude of people that have been killed in the name of Christianity, yet they also support abortion. And some might be surprised to know that one country, even worse than America now in this regard, is Israel. Israel loosened its abortion regulations in 2022 as a direct response to the United States Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, which did not make abortion illegal in America, but rather only turned the legality of abortion to being a state matter. It is also pathetically ironic that many who cry Black Lives Matter also support abortion, which claims hundreds of thousands of black lives each year, as black babies are aborted at a higher rate in America than the babies of any other race, and make up at least 40% of all abortions in America. Remember then here also Proverbs 14:34. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. How many who go claiming that sexual assault cases allegedly justify abortion are actually angry at the perpetrators in these cases and seeking to enact laws to put those convicted of the crime that rhymes with rape to death? Why should an innocent child be put to death for something which someone else did? This horrid crime is a tragedy which causes great trauma for the victim, whether a pregnancy occurs or not, and whether the baby is born or not. Allowing the victim to abort their child is not going to make the trauma go away. It is obvious that most who make claims along these lines want abortion to be legal in just about any other circumstance. They are not actually focused on the 1% or less of pregnancies caused by sexual assault, or where there is some significant complication involved in the pregnancy. I would bet that a significant amount of the time, the abortion advocates are actually a lot more angry with those who oppose the legality of aborting live babies in the womb than they are angry at those who force themselves upon others sexually. I would bet that they would even be angry in many cases at the suggestion that those duly convicted of doing this ought to be put to death. Ephesians 6:4 says, And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. And 1 Timothy 5:8 says, But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel or unbeliever. These scriptures logically have to apply to all who conceive children, whether they are male or female. When the Bible talks about parents raising their children in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, and how those who don't provide for their own children are worse than even other unbelievers are, it must mean that parents should not kill their children in the womb. Yet many want to let Satan tell them what they should do with unborn children in their body. It is even illegal in the United States to destroy the egg of a bald eagle under the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act of 1940. Unborn bald eagles have more rights and greater protections in the United States than unborn children in the United States and in many other countries um, do. Job chapter 31, verses 13 to 15. If I did despise the cause of my manservant or of my maidservant, when they contended with me, what then shall I do when God riseth up? And when he visiteth, what shall I answer him? Did not he that made me in the womb make him? And did not one fashion us in the womb? Something else will be said about God rising up shortly afterwards in the book of Job. Let the pro abortion crowd and all others who despise anything which the God of the Bible has commanded take heed. Job chapter 34, verses 20 to 22. In a moment shall they die, and the people shall be troubled at midnight and pass away, and the mighty shall be taken away without hand. For his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he seeth all his goings. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity, the workers of lawlessness, transgressors of God's authority, may hide themselves.